So why are we all assuming that it's Mac Jones? If you're so high on Justin Fields, I'm sure there are many in the talent evaluation community that share a similar opinion as you do of Justin Fields, and maybe even have him as high as you do on their draft boards as well, above Zach Wilson. Why are we assuming it's Mac Jones at third overall for the 49ers?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that's a hard part of being a draft analyst is you have to really differentiate between what you think will happen and what should happen or what you would do. And so with mock drafts, I've heard Daniel Jeremiah, who you mentioned, he's amazing. He says that a mock draft is what he hears, rankings are what he sees. And I think that's the best way to describe that difference. So a mock draft is based on what you're hearing from people around the league. And Rich, I know you talked to a lot of people as well. I can't find anyone who thinks it will be someone other than Mac Jones at number 3. Now, I did have one person say, if it were Trey Lance, I wouldn't be shocked, but I would be surprised. Everyone you talk to, Adam Schefter's reporting it. Chris Mortensen's reporting it. You got Chris Sims, who's buddies with Kyle Shanahan, saying Mac Jones is perfect for their offense. Like, these connections don't just get made up. Like, we're not all sitting around like, what we should do today? Mess with Niner fans. Like, these connections are happening for a reason. And I think you could look at every mock draft right now from a network analyst. All of them have Mac Jones to San Francisco. We don't ever agree on anything, and we all agree on this right now. So I think that's something where, should it be Mac Jones? Not in my opinion. Is he a good quarterback? Yes. He's smart. He's accurate. He's very, very much a scheme fit with a lot of play action where he's had to turn his back to the defense. He's had to make those reads, deep down the field, and he throws a beautiful football. But he's the least athletic, and he has the weakest arm of the top 5 quarterbacks in this class. That's hard to imagine trading 2 future first-round picks for, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, the issue is, I guess, Matt, is that we've heard similar evaluations of Mac Jones as you've had throughout the Senior Bowl all the way through essentially to when the 49ers made a remarkable maneuver from 12 to 3. And that's where I think there is a disconnect as to why would the 49ers trade all that draft capital when they could have sat there at 12 and waited for him and maybe struck a deal with, the Broncos to go, or, Carolina, or even the Lions, maybe, on draft night, just wait. Why make such a bold maneuver a month plus before the draft to get all the way to 3 for somebody who, again, and we may have been way off. We were saying, hey, maybe the Patriots just sit there in the middle of the first round and Mac Jones will be available. Was he being pushed up so many draft boards that the Niners had to go to 3 to get him?
That's the only thing that makes sense, is that John Lynch and Adam Peters were hearing from their connections that, hey, this guy's going to go earlier than you think. So you're probably hearing that, like you said, the Carolina, Matt Rule had Mac Jones at the Senior Bowl. You're probably hearing that, Carolina's been aggressive. They would go up for him. And so you're basically doing what the Chicago Bears did with the 49ers in 2017 when they traded up one spot to get Mitch Trubisky. Now, this is a much bigger trade up, but you're moving up just to secure your guy. And I think, I was at the BYU Pro Day with John Lynch the day that this trade went down. And I think that's the other side of it is you probably look at your evaluation and say there are 3 quarterbacks we love. If we get to 3, we make sure we get one of them. You don't have to worry about someone jumping, into that 3 spot, into the 4 spot, which we all hear now Atlanta wants to trade out. So you're just making sure you get your guy. And, you have to applaud the aggressiveness to say, we like 3 quarterbacks. If the Jets take someone else, we'll take Zach Wilson. No big deal. But, man, you're right. It is a lot. And I still look at the draft board and say, without trades, he probably would have been there at 7. So could you have gone from 12 to 7? And to do it a month out is curious as well, because the price of draft trades, it only decreases as you get closer to the draft. Like, there will be moves that happen on Thursday night, April 29th, that are not going to be this expensive. So the Niners really had to feel like someone else was going to make this move if they didn't, whether it's Carolina, Denver, New England. So I'm sure that the Miami Dolphins did a great job of making that point known.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.